Oh, welcome to all the Jaguar enthusiasts. Yeah, so all our guests have gone now. We had some friends of ours we met on a cruise to Asia last year, Ian and Linda. They've been here for about eight days. They now gone back to Aberdeen. So we had six guests staying over a long weekend. Ian and Linda had come before that. And Ian was very good, and he helped with some bits and pieces in the garage. And a friend of ours that has an alpaca farm, he helped with another project, which was very good of him. And so they're all gone now. They actually went on Monday afternoon, so this is why I'm making the video now. This morning I got a delivery from UPS for the exhaust system for the XK, which you'll see in this video. And yeah, I had a little bit of a rant on the last video because it does take a long time to get the stuff, and Simon Nathan in Australia says, you know, you want to try it here, it's 10 times worse. But I lived in Australia. I didn't do any classic car stuff over there, but it was very difficult, I know, and very expensive too. So it seemed like, you know, it was silly little things, and the problem is sometimes two or three things, they start compounding, you start getting a bit hacked off about it, and really they're small in comparison. They're not life-threatening. They're not that important. And in the whole scheme of things, is really that not important. You know, family health and all that. That's more important. Anyway, but it, you know, we all have a rant. But they do say it comes in threes. But in my case, over the last since Friday, since I got these mini sport arches, and I've talked to Tom already. I've sent him an email. Sent him a photograph of it, and he's going to get back to me this afternoon and sort out to get me the other rear arch. Anyway, but they say it comes in threes, but in my case it actually came in seven. It came in sevens, which is supposed to be a lucky number for some people. But basically, what happened was, just to let you know, I had the problem with the arches, so I have no rear arch for the left hand side rear. The Magnum panel, which I didn't want, I wanted the full one, but I wanted Heritage, and they sent me a Magnum. But that was my fault, and I said to them, we can use it, it'll do the job, but it's not what I would have preferred. I would have preferred the Heritage complete thing, but I did not specify that. But the fact that I bought all Heritage stuff, I assumed that, but that's my fault. The third thing was, Johan, who owns this car, we discussed it, but again, due to, I guess, language differences, but I specifically said to him, are you going to keep it like that? And he said yes. So we started to put it together, and now he has seen my black chassis and he wants his black as well. So that means we have to pull that back down, but it's his money. He's going to have to pay for it, so it's not an issue, but it's just annoying that we have to pull it apart. But anyway, fortunately we haven't gone too far with it, because I kind of had a sneaky feeling he was going to go that way with it. He's quite quick to change his mind about stuff. Anyway, that was number number 3. Then we had some problems with the gearbox bolts for this bell housing on the XK, and I had some bolts, and we tried to, the first on my car we got them done. But the top and die set I've got, even though it's fairly comprehensive, it's not top end, you know, it's not an engineer's one, and some of the die holders are not great. I mean, it's got a nice range in it, it was a reasonable price, and I don't use it that often that I want to go out and spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds, which you can, thousands for that matter. So the last bolts we don't have enough bolts, but Ian, who, our friend who came, he's a really cute car enthusiast. He's restored loads of minis and all kinds of stuff, many cars in Scotland over the years. He has a place where they make the bolts in the UK near him, and he's going to send me the 6 bolts I need, so that's very good of him. He offered to do that. I really appreciate it. I hope he's watching in. So, what else do we have go wrong? Yeah, and then right after that, we get all that, and then I have a tap here. I'm lucky enough to have hot and cold water. Well, I was. I've had a heater in here for many years, and we had changed the tap some time ago, and it started leaking. It was a mixer tap, but hot and cold. Anyway, the cold water tap started to leak and coming out of the actual where the handle is, where the rubber insert is. So I thought, well, I'll go down to the shop. They were here, but he was good enough to help me. So I went and got another one, and unfortunately what I didn't realise is there was a special system for this heater. It's a little electric heater, and it only does enough water to wash your hands. And I didn't realise there was 3 hoses on it, and the one I bought was 2. So on realising that, we went back down and bought some extra hoses and a T. We then plumbed it up, everything looked great. When we turned the water on, the pressure seemed to burst something inside the heater. So there must be some kind of restriction in the original one. So now the heater, I think the heater's knackered. I'm going to pull it apart and check it, but I'm pretty sure the pipe inside has burst because it's just pissing water out. So that was, yeah, so that was it. So that was number 7. So yeah, so hopefully everything is on the way up now. But what's put this into perspective, if these are just silly, annoying little things, you know, and on the 16th of July, Graham Stockdale, I don't know if you guys are watching, but you should. It's called Team Stockdale. He's got a mini clubman he's made a beautiful job of. But unfortunately, on the 16th of July, his wife Sandra died of cancer. And I watched the tribute video that he put up on YouTube, and it really hit me just how insignificant all this stuff is. This is just a hobby. It's just something I play at. It's not life-threatening. And then Piper Doug then dropped me a comment as well, saying that him and his family had been up in some cabin somewhere where they live in the prairies, and a tornado had gone through, but fortunately the family was okay and they were safe back home. So I guess, you know, just these are little things that come to annoy you, but they shouldn't really. I need to just, you know, cool down and just say, well, okay, it is what it is. Life's life, you know. But as I said, after I saw Graham's tribute to his wife, you know, it makes you think and stops you in your track. Makes you see how all these other things are really quite insignificant. Anyway, that being said, my condolences goes out to his family. So what I'm going to do is I'll come off now, stop talking, and I'll show you these drop hangers that I got. And I've got a couple of nozzles. I've got a plasma cutter, which you've seen, and I went to a welding shop and got the original clip, which is the standoff for the plasma cutter. You need a certain amount of distance, and you need a very steady hand with it. And I have to cut this stainless steel on the Volkswagen. But this guy showed me a fitting which actually pushes onto the cap, which you can push against the metal and pull and drive along, which is really nice. So it means you can have a nice steady hand. So I'll show you that now. So I won't do an outro. Thanks for watching. Thank you for all the subscriptions, all the comments and everything that I get. I really do appreciate it. And as usual, stay safe, keep the faith, and enjoy your hobby. Don't get upset about it like I did. This is crazy. Yeah, enjoy your hobby and go with the flow. Life's too short. Bye. So I've got these are the new drop hangers for this. It's actually on this one. I'll pick up the camera and show you in a second. But you can see now that's absolutely solid, and you can see this. Obviously they're only not tightened up, but a really nice fit, just like the exhaust. And it's just a real nicely engineered. The nice rubbers. And what he's done actually, he's made these rods stronger, and then basically it's just a matter of popping these up. They can only go one way because obviously there's a ridge there, and then it's just a matter of excuse me a second. Always happens on camera, doesn't it? You can see it's a really easy fit. The whole exhaust fits just superbly. I'll pick the camera up in a second and show you it, but it fits. I originally got one of these for the E-Type, and it sounds that they fit beautifully. It's good. It's beautifully engineered. The material the engineering is just top notch, and the sound is just the icing on the cake. But really, I mean, it's not even tightened up. You can see the difference there. So I'll pick the camera up and I'll show you in the next clip how they look. These are not tightened yet, but they're almost there. But they sit gorgeous in the chassis. So you can see there. Hopefully you can see there. It's a bit dark. That's probably a better one there. You can see there's them drop hangers now with the rubber. And Jimmy told me that he actually made those steel rods. I can't remember if he said it was 16 mil instead of 13 originally, but they've been beefed up. They're really nice and they sit beautifully. So and you might see that this is the old prop shaft on here. And the problem is with this is that the Tremac box, this is actually the Dextron 3 that's going into it. But you can see here there is a sleeve, a shaft. So obviously what we want to do is put that back as far as we can before we measure it. But you might also see there's a second sleeve here. So obviously you can't have two in it, you know, you don't know where that's going to balance out. It should be a solid shaft, but with this one with the play in it for the suspension going up and down. But this is the original one from the overdrive unit that I had, and so we'll have a new one made and balanced, and for that. So I am hopefully getting ready to get this in, to get the engine oils in. Once the exhaust is tightened up, there's the new Dizzy, the new distributor. There's the fuel pump ready. What we won't do is I won't actually put the fuel pump and everything in on the pipework just now. I'll just set it up on the side here so we can just get the engine running, because what I want to do is take these pots off and take these inlets off to re-clean. And the guy that owns this chassis here, Johan, he has a company near him that do this, what is it called, electro polishing, I think it's called. But from what I've seen online, it does take about 5 to 10 thou off. So I wanted him to, he wants to do it, so we've taken the cam covers off this engine, which are no problem. 5 to 10 thou off that, you wouldn't even notice it. And all the manifolds are fine. But he also wanted to do the bells, which I wasn't 100% convinced about, because the outside of the bell is no problem, but because it's a tolerance fit inside, we came up with an idea of putting them together, and he's going to cap them off. So hopefully that works when he brings them back. But we did it with a set of bells that we don't need, just in case. So we've measured them all, and hopefully the results will be that there's no issue. But they say that the electro polishing is just top notch, you know. So we'll see. We're going to do a comparison before and after. So I just wanted to show you these. This is for the plasma cutter, and basically this fits onto a nose cone. So the idea is, as you put the as you have the cutter in here, the cutter nozzle, you can use this to guide it all the way along, and it keeps it that perfect distance from the metal when you're cutting it. The problem with these is they're quite thin, and they get hot and they get damaged quite quickly. So when I went to this welding shop, they showed me this one, which is one that goes over the nose, and you can see it's got the perfect standoff there. So as you put the thing inside it, you can see all I've got to do is drag it along the metal. Sorry, I'll keep it in shot. So that will be much better. This is the cheap alternative, and this one, if it works well, then that's the one I'll be going for. I'll get a few more of those. So that's it.